Hey y'all! So today I wanted to quickly take you guys through how I go about making a guitar nut. This is also an amazing upgrade for your guitar. A lot of times, you know, guitars come with like a plastic nut or a Corian nut or something like that. I would highly recommend upgrading to either a bone or a tusk nut. Synthetic bone is even okay, but it's just going to greatly improve your tone overall. You're going to notice a difference. So you're going to need a few things to get started. Now I've got a nut blank here. Highly recommend getting your nut blanks from Stewmac. You can also order pre-shaped nuts that are also pre-slotted, which are awesome if you don't have the time nor want to mess with trying to file in the nut slots and such yourself. It's going to be way easier if you have an existing nut to copy, but if you don't, that's okay. I'm going to show you how I go about doing it. Let's do it. You're also going to need a set of handy dandy nut files, and you're going to need a flat surface. For this, I've got my radiusing bar. I'm just going to use this as my level surface for sanding. I've got the nut slot cut on this guy. The nut does not quite fit. Now that we have a proper fit, we can take a pencil. We're going to draw where our frets meet on the actual nut itself. So I'm going to start here, and as long as our level is flat, we have a flat surface with this pencil, we can actually get the curvature of the frets and the fretboard, which is what we want. So this is not the amount of material that we actually want to take away. This is just to use as a marker. Now you can do this next part with a file or with sandpaper or anything you got around to remove material. I'm going to use like a power sanding setup just because it's quick and it's easier. Alright, now, next, let my mask lines here. Wear a mask when you're doing that kind of stuff, sanding with the bone nut, because it smells awful, it smells weird, and it's a lot of fine dust that you shouldn't be breathing in. So definitely wear a mask if you can while you're doing that. It helps. Something that really helps me when I'm cutting nut slots is this handy dandy string spacing rule. You can get one of these online. Stewmac has these. They're awesome. I love it. It allows you to line up your specific slots and draw, so that way you know where to cut, and it has it all marked out for you, which is great. If you don't have that though, that's okay. You can go online and find a lot of information on your specific nut width and where your string spacing should be. Typically, where your two E strings fall in relation to the outside of the fretboard. You don't want them to be too far out, because if they are, you're going to be bending. When you bend notes, the E strings are going to be coming off the fretboard or coming off the slope of the fret, which is really annoying and you don't want. You're going to probably need a set of calipers in order to do that, because you're going to want to get like very, very fine measurements, like string spacing wise, and then also the gauge of your strings comes into play a little bit too. But for us, we're going to be using a string spacing ruler, which is super easy. If you have a nut that you're replacing as a modification, use that as a template. Just mark off, put the two nuts together, put the nuts together, and mark off exactly where your strings were on the old nut and where they need to be filed for the new one. So let's do it. All right, so generally when using the fret rule and or anything else, you're going to want these strings to be about 1/8 of an inch in from the outside of the neck. That's about 3.175 millimeters because I'm using calipers and I just like to use millimeters. So I'm going to draw my E at that, the 3.175 millimeters, and then I'm going to do another, and that's typically where my 2 E strings should be. Now I'm going to take my handy dandy fret rule and line everything up here. So I'm going to find what best fits. Okay, so it looks like I have a match here. And the way you use this fret rule is you want 6 of either the long holes to be lined up or 6 of the short holes to be lined up. And that's how we're going to make our marks. I'm just going to make sure that these are all lined up, and then I'm going to set my marks. So you can lay this on top and do it like this, but my pencil lead won't go through. Maybe if you had a mechanical pencil it would work, but this won't. All right, so now we have our string spacing and we can begin to file our nut slots out. And like I said, it's good to get yourself a handy dandy set of files. You can also use them for saddles. So the trick when filing this is to back file the nut slots. What that means, you're going to come at a back angle where the string would break, because we don't want the string to be sitting on the top of the slot just completely straight and then dropping off. We want it to only be touching the inside edge right here. We want there to be enough of a natural break angle of the string so that it curves down towards the tuners. But a good way to do this is to take a pencil and color in the actual slot like this. You start to slot this away till you have just a little bit left at the top right here. Also too, you know how we drew that line with the pencil earlier? There's a reason for that. That gives us the radius of the fretboard and the frets. That gives us a marker to shoot for, because these strings at the nut need to be at the same radius as the fretboard. So we're aiming for those, but I'm not going to go as low as those until we actually have the strings on the guitar. All right, so the cool thing about a bone nut is that you can polish it out to make it really, really shiny. So how you're going to go about doing that though is I started with a 250 to 320 grit sandpaper, knocked all the edges down, rounded it out, and then hit it with an 800, and then now I'm going to bump it up into the thousands.